Okay, season 2 is brought to you by nobody currently.
Non-disclosure agreements only.
Could be you.
We've said no to everybody so far.
Money's no object.
Money is the
Except
only
it is
object.
exactly an object that we are looking for.
Give it to us.
We take Venmo.
This is the best pitch deck of all time.
Before we get into the prediction episode, can we briefly chat about the news of the day today? Since it's going to drop tomorrow.
John Wallace's best friend got the national team job.
Congratulations to John Wallace on being named the head coach of the women's national team.
Best friend of the head coach of the women's national team.
It's kind of like the assistant to the regional manager. That's John Wallace.
Huge day for
Erik
Wallace's.
Sullivan named head coach of the women's national team. Chad, you called it. Not the Vegas odds favorite here.
You did.
What do you think?
You called it?
No, I called it not the Vegas odds favorite.
That's what he texted saying.
Yeah.
It was, this is not the
I
Vegas
was
pick.
like, I don't think you called it. But
No, I don't. I mean,
yeah.
this I think Sully was like on people's list somewhere, but like not probably in like a podium finish.
No.
So again, obviously, like I met him for the first time, a couple weeks ago. In
Yeah, he went
Kentucky.
on a bourbon tasting tour with us.
Wait, yeah, you were there.
He
That
was there,
crazy.
yeah.
I know.
I was not there for that.
Yeah, you guys declined.
That guy was holding in all those secrets while we were tasting that
That's
Old Forester.
That's definitely true. And yeah, I mean, again, like he seems like a great guy. I've heard a lot of people speak really highly of him, but I'm sure that they reached out to Dan Fisher, reached out to Hambly, reached out to, I mean, probably not like John Cook, but like some of these coaches. And so I wonder, hey, look, I'm really happy at my university. I'm really secure. I make probably more money than this position pays anyway. So as prestigious as it would be to, be doing this going into LA.
Oh, you think he wasn't option A?
I don't want to imply, but I thought we were going to hear about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That's true.
And my guess, I thought it was going to be Fisher or Hambly probably, and I just wonder if the money wasn't there or the situation wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
He does check off a lot of the boxes that we
100%,
about,
yeah.
right? Like international experience. I think obviously LA 2028 they wanted an American. They got their guy in that sense for sure.
I mean, he's been working with Spra with men's for years. So
Yeah.
I think that it kind of makes sense now looking at it.
Specifically that everyone is UCLA, Sparrow UCLA.
Yeah.
You got Eric UCLA, you got Karch UCLA. Just a bunch of Bruins in there.
Interesting.
yeah, I mean that's probably the knock, right? If you're scrolling through Volley Talk today. Not that I was, of course, but like it's a
What's your username?
It's the old that's not my
Chad
name.
Gordon.
Yeah.
Chad Gordon. There you go.
There's nothing
Good.
crazy.
I
out
respect that. If you're gonna be on Volley Talk, like own it with your
Yeah.
name.
Yeah, I'm not out here to like troll people or anything. What? Yeah, you can go look. I don't do much.
He also has 7 other usernames.
Dun dun dun.
Kevin Durant over here.
Yeah. Not Kevin Durant.
He's starting conversations with himself.
I'm really good at this. Yeah. But I think the knock was like, hey, this is a old boys club kind of thing, and also maybe, hey, look, he's been on these rosters before, but hey, what does the team manager do, or what is whatever his title is on these squads? But at the end of the day, like he's been to 2 Olympics, he's been on staff recently.
Yep.
Not as a player, obviously. Like
Yeah.
this guy
With
has
Sparrow, so Sparrow obviously trusts him.
This guy knows what's going on. He knows what's going to be expected in these gyms, and I hope he brings some more of that men's side stuff to the women's game. I would love to see that. So
For sure.
we will see.
I don't think any of these hires have been bad hires.
No.
I will say. Like, yes, old boys club can be said about like all of this. It makes like I get why people say that, but from my perspective on this, like I think CEO of USA Volleyball, men's national team, women's national team, all of these to me look like pretty good hires here.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
don't disagree.
the game goes in a good direction, hopefully under all of this leadership.
There you go, Sparrow. Sparrow off to a hot start on the hiring for sure. Shall we get into our predictions? First episode of the year is usually how we began season 2. So
We annually
in all of
do
the
this.
years that we've been doing this,
Well,
we always
do
start
do-
with predictions.
We
We definitely
do this
nailed it
every
last
year.
year,
We
yeah.
just decided to record it now. So
Yes. Let's get into it. MPSF champion is the first item on the docket. Chad, you want to kick us off on this one?
UCLA.
UCLA.
All right, and moving on.
And The dark horse.
Wait, do you have a different one?
No, it's UCLA
cool.
for me. But I will add in one note. The preseason poll has USC at 2. It's got let me see here. Let me pull up the exact info. BYU at 3, Pep at 4, Grand Canyon at 5, Stanford at 6, then Concordia, and then Vanguard and Menlo rounding it out. I'm just saying, I'm going Stanford at 2. I'm a homer. I think we're all a little bit homers, but I think Stanford is highly underrated in this poll, even though, yes, they're replacing pretty much their entire starting lineup. I think there's going to be big things for them this year. That's all.
I mean, we're biased because it's a lot of our
We're
kids
so
that are
biased
going
on
to
it.
get the start this year. But
I don't know why you'd have any impression that we're biased about this.
We're about as biased as you get on it.
Yeah. Well, I don't coach there anymore, so now I can talk as much as I want to about them
Yeah.
without fear of repercussions. So,
So you overrank them.
yeah,
Nice job.
exactly. Yeah, so that makes
when
me
we
feel
send,
good.
when we send 8 kids to BYU, they can be second. All right, it's fine.
That's true.
Like,
Let's be
next year.
real. I was a weight. I was just a big old weight. So now that weight's been lifted,
Yeah, there you go.
they're going to the top.
ready for takeoff.
All right. Unanimous UCLA as
Yep.
the MPSF champ for us.
Great.
Into the Big West. Big West has a little more parity here, I think. Let's go, Ariel. Who's your champion of the Big West?
I will say Long Beach because I like Nikolov so much. But I do think that there's some, I don't know. I like a couple teams in the Big West this year.
For sure.
Obviously I like Irvine, and I think Irvine has the last couple years has like kind of been on an upward slope, like of how they're projecting. So I like Irvine.
Yep.
And would like to see them be successful. But after watching Nikolov, I've gotta.
Yeah, he's not a bad replacement for setter for them.
It's probably one of the best freshmen I've seen.
So are you locking in Long Beach? Is that
Yeah,
what you're
I'll
going
say
with?
Long Beach.
Okay, Chad.
Yeah, I think I've got Long Beach too. I mean, I would be interested to see what UH does. I watched a little bit of their first couple matches. And Tread's got some big pins to work with this year. Irvine is kind of that high ceiling, like low floor team for me of just like, like if Heno gets going and you just can't touch him and he's hitting 500-600, it's like, oh, yeah, Irvine can be the giant slayer.
Yeah.
But man, just watching like a little bit of Long Beach, like over the past couple weeks, it's like, oh, they're gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
and
they're good.
Like barring injury, like that's gonna be a really tough team to slow down
For sure.
So
Long
Yeah.
Beach did have to cut like 250 kids off their roster.
not the
though.
platoon.
Yeah, they really took a hit in terms of their
They took
enrollment.
a big hit with the roster cap issue.
The 18-man roster is certainly I think that's a topic for another episode, but for sure an interesting dynamic playing out there.
Tough.
I agree. Long Beach State is the one. I think they're going to be regular season champs. The tournament's being played at Hawaii.
Ooh,
And
that's
so
interesting.
for
Okay.
that reason, I think that UC Irvine is going to win the Big West tournament. Niffin
Okay, sure.
is going to pull out some Niffin magic. I think Long Beach and Irvine are going to get into the playoffs here, and they are both going to be very, very much problems when it comes down to. I think I've got them two in like the juggernaut category, along with UCLA. Those are my 3 right there that I think are kind of that level of like. Pardon my French, but holy shit, that's a team you don't want to face. So yeah, that's my Big West prediction.
Sold.
Moving on.
So
Let's
we're,
head
all,
up.
we're all picking the same things every round here.
Almost.
Hot takes.
We're heading towards the Midwest now. So now we're getting into the MIVA. I'll lead off. I know there's a little bit of differences here for the MIVA champ.
What does he know that we don't?
He know that we
I know
don't?
what she's gonna
Oh,
say.
we
So I
haven't-
at least know there's
you
a little bit of
never
difference.
know what I'm going to say. I could switch it right now.
Quincy to the moon.
Hey man, you never know.
Okay, what are you going to say?
I have one Ball State as my MIVA champion.
Nerd.
Reason being, one man and one man only. Patrick Rogers might be my favorite player. Have you seen this guy play? Patrick Rogers?
No.
At Ball State? I think you did. Yeah, you watched him play Stanford last year. He's their a little bit smaller outside. They've got Tinashe, who's the black outside hitter, who's really, really good as well.
Yep.
And then Patrick Rogers is I think he's the one, but he plays a lot of like international style jam, wipe, off speed, doesn't make a ton of errors, rips a serve. He's
I didn't
really,
think that
really
they were
entertaining
very
kid.
good. I didn't think he was great in Austin.
But they
last year.
return everybody.
Okay.
And
They got a setter, right?
and they got a couple no, their setter was a freshman
Setter
last year,
was
and
a
he's
Brazilian
good.
kid, or yeah.
Yeah, he's good. And then they got I forget who they got transferring in, but he was a MIVA All-American.
Yeah, Elaine. He was the opposite from Quincy.
Yes, there you go.
Transferred
Exactly.
to Ball
Quincy to the
State.
moon.
Quincy,
That's what I was
Quincy
saying.
no longer to the moon
Biggest-
because that kid's now
biggest loser.
that kid's now on Ball
That's
State.
the biggest winner for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 3 pins. That's a legit.
Yeah, that's a legit
team.
combo. They're playing at Stanford this week, and I am stoked to watch that. It's going to be really good matches. Yeah, Ball State's mine. What do you got?
What was that me? I like Loyola actually.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well,
Shane Davis to the moon.
Shane Davis to the moon, obviously, right? Played there, won some natties there, is back now. You get Meyer back in the middle, Van Buren on the right.
Yep.
Who's it left? Daniel Vabekovic, I think.
Oh,
But he
right,
was,
right.
he's the Czech guy from
Yeah,
last year,
yeah.
right? 6'7", whatever outside. Like that guy's really, really good. I
Yeah.
think I had him
He's smooth as well.
statistically was like my freshman of the year or something last year. I can't remember.
And Owen Smith, hopefully.
And Owen Smith, obviously.
Obviously.
That I don't know why that even needed to be said.
Yeah.
That was the assumption.
Don't blow it, Shane.
Yeah. That's basically
We
it.
just
It's
picked
like
you.
It's like UCLA. Don't blow it, Hawks, but this one will be easier, obviously. So Loyola to the moon.
Yeah,
His family is amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Loyola too. I think Shane Davis magic is great.
Yeah, love seeing Shane back on the men's side of the game, and yeah, I mean Parker Van Buren is the front runner for MIVA Player of the Year, and that is for good reason. All right, I like it. On to the EVA. Chad,
1, 2, 3, Penn State.
Penn State. There you go. Easy does it. All right, let's go Player of the Year. Chad, you get to start.
If not Heno, if for some reason like all of the swings are just wearing on him and Irvine is shaky, then I would go Mr. Long Beach State himself, Mr. Moni Nikolov. I mean,
me and Chad are on the same
Following
page
up
today.
his brother as the freshman All-American, freshman Player of the Year.
yeah, I mean I don't know, like maybe I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid or whatever, but like
He's really good.
I watched a little bit. I'm just like, yeah, like there's nothing that guy can't really do right now. Like he's bombing serves. He's a huge blocker. Obviously, he's getting everybody one-on-ones. Long Beach is playing really fast, and he's just creating space for guys. Like that's what it's supposed to look like. And no offense to like college, but like this is practice for him, right? Like he's playing in VNLs, not in NCAA stuff. Like different.
He's out
different
here.
letters.
He is clip farming Division I talent right now. He's making guys look silly.
Yeah.
And it is, quite honestly, it's hysterical.
Yeah, it is really.
Do we think Nikoba's going to get bored of like posting stuff where like he jumps, lands, and like the ball just falls for a kill? Like how many
Nikolov
times?
is Nikoba's
It's
Dream.
best friend
wet
right now.
dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Safe sport.
That's
But yeah, 100%, right? Like someone who's just doing crazy stuff all the time.
All the
right?
time.
It's like Heno kind of like, I can just
he
jam
had,
it with
he
two
had to
hands.
play against Alberta, whoever they were playing in that North American Challenge, and I saw within like 10 minutes of it happening, there was 7 views from the pyramid of people recording him. Everyone is just always recording.
yeah.
And then immediately it gets uploaded. Immediately it's at 10,000 likes. Nikoba's went to 1 million views within like 8 hours.
Jeez.
The most impressive thing that I've seen him do so far is he takes the first ball and then runs to the net and
screens,
jumps.
The Taylor Averill jump screen.
He's really committed. Like he's taking
Really
he's taking
committed
full
to it.
approaches towards that
Full
middle.
approaches,
Just like
starfish.
Yeah.
Full approach starfish. Like it's wild stuff. Yeah, the kid's playing.
He's out there.
Playing
He's
chess.
out there goofing a little bit. And I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I think when you're that confident in your skill set to like you can start taking fake approaches out of the back row mid rally on a high ball. It's like, oh, this kid like is not going to struggle
Yeah.
against these teams.
Okay, this is Glazer Central right now, but I'm gonna switch mine because I have been an Andrew Rowan fan ever since he kicked the shit out of us multiple times when he was a senior in high school. Like the kid is good. And like
Yep. He's definitely gonna have something to say this year about.
I am excited to watch that be the challenge of like, there's another kid here that is elite level here, and UCLA is really, really good. And Rowan has been a huge part of that. And so I'm going to go with player of the year for Rowan.
I like that. I'm in the same vein as you, actually. Obviously, I think Nikolov is a front runner. Heno's a front runner. Irvine is going to rely heavily on Heno. Similarly, this year for UCLA, Cooper Robinson is going to be my pick.
Yeah, that kid's good.
He is certainly capable of being the guy. He's one of the most physical players in all of college volleyball right now. For UCLA to succeed, Cooper Robinson has to be the man and has to honestly take his game to a whole nother level as well. He doesn't have the same amount of support that he did last year. He's going to get some support for sure with Rama stepping in or whoever else fills that OH2 position. But he's got to be the guy for them, and I think he's poised to kind of be that superstar that isn't really getting all the credit that the other guys currently are. He's getting plenty of social media play. I know Holly does a great job for them, but not quite the level of the others.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he does. Kind of.
I think that kid's most improved from club until now.
Yeah, I mean, physicality wise, is a whole nother level.
I mean, him and Rama are just monsters. Like,
Yeah.
when it's just like step close and just go over the top and like down. That's a good problem to have. But now it's like, all right, can they do that night in, night out, like without Champlin out there, like really steadying the ship? Like they had to pull that guy out of libero.
Is the ball control gonna hold?
Yeah.
Who holds down that libero spot for him?
Yep.
Yeah, there's definitely some question marks for UCLA to figure out, but they've got the pieces.
Don't blow it,
Hawks. Glad we were on the same page there. All right. Speaking of most improved, you said most improved player from club to college for Cooper Robinson. We're moving into most improved team. Who's going to be the most improved team this year?
Can we have the least improved team too? I was just spitballing.
Cut.
Try not to piss people off
Okay,
too much.
fine. Okay, fine. Most improved team.
Yes, most improved team. While you look up your notes, I'm going to go for my
Write
little
one down.
tirade here. I got Ball State.
It's a thought that counts.
Obviously didn't make the tournament last year, but has all the pieces that are needed to make that run. They added in the Quincy Oppo. I think Donan does some amazing things. Obviously, they've shown a deep run once already when they got in there, and I think they've got some veteran leadership now that's poised to kind of carry them so much further than they got last season. So for them, I'm seeing an outright MIVA Championship, taking down Loyola Chicago and making their way to a at least Final Four run would be my guess for NCAA.
I think that a dark horse most improved team could be USC.
Mm-hmm.
That also could completely bomb and like not be it. But I think they have the pieces there to be able to be the most improved team.
They've had like 3 back-to-back top recruiting, not top, but I think one through 3,
like podium finish.
Podium finishing
Yeah,
recruiting
like
classes.
there's no reason they shouldn't be the most improved team.
Yeah, I mean they're from where they finished last year in the MPSF. Their preseason rank is number 2. Yeah, they've got a complete set of pins now. Their middles they probably got the best grouping of middles across the country. I can't think of another one that would be better than
Who's
them
their
right
setter?
now. Their setter is Caleb Blanchette.
Oh yeah,
who's solid. He's a little bit undersized, but like he can move the rock around. Yeah, I
they
agree.
to me are like, I don't really know what most improved or like should do better. Yeah, I think that would be my pick for that.
That's a good pick.
Definitely high expectations compared to last year.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the difference between like most improved and high expectation. I would expect with what USC has for them to be successful.
I would love to see them win more matches, and then I will buy into the USC is trending up.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know if I can say
I
that.
agree. I agree with the roster for sure.
Yeah.
Like they're definitely overdue. I'm going back to the MIVA.
Okay.
I'm back in Loyola.
Ah, okay.
You know, lost in the semis, the second round, I think, of the MIVA tournament last year.
Bless you, Bobby.
Yeah, I like the pieces they return. Obviously, I like Owen Smith. But yeah, I think Shane's gonna get him. Not that like Hawks is a bad coach or anything like that, but like I think Shane being back home.
Don't blow it, Hawks.
Screw you, Hawks.
Yeah, he's like, I'm never watching this podcast. These guys are just stupid. No, I think they'll be a reinvigorated team. A lot of energy around that, just because Shane has led that program specifically to kind of the end zone here a couple times. So I think they'll be as ready for that moment as possible.
That's a good debate on high expectation versus most improved too.
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Loyola sure would have. I think in most people's eyes, Loyola has tempered expectations because of the switch of coaching staff. But obviously, Shane's a pretty, I'm not gonna say seamless, but a much more seamless plug than another option. He knows the program well.
Yeah, he's an
alum.
Call.
He knows the group of guys in that program. He knows the staff. He knows how to work that university, and he's had success there. So I think that for sure is something that while expectations may be low, they still have the roster and pieces to be able to do it. And so it's a good recipe for Loyola.
I will say that when Shane was successful at Loyola, there was such a strong group of kids from the Chicago area that were staying in Chicago,
Milwaukee area,
that were in Milwaukee,
kids.
and they were staying at Lewis and Loyola. And I don't know if it's the same landscape as it was back then.
Yeah, that's fair. They had a very core group of kids.
Yes.
That came in all from the Midwest that were, it was a very, very special group.
Yep.
For sure. So I like it.
We will see.
Cool.
All right. All good picks. I like those. Let's move on. We're going to let's get out of the positivity. We're going to go to the biggest loser of the year. Biggest loser.
The biggest loser of this year could be anybody that doesn't put themselves out there on social media that's good at volleyball right now.
That's a good point. I like that.
Like, if you have such this is easy coming from me, obviously, but like, you have such a platform to be able to like bring the sport to a different level. And so we're going to go over biggest winners. And I think that's what my biggest winner is going to be. But like, biggest loser to me is if you're good and you are playing high level volleyball, if you're any of the people that we talked about on this podcast, you probably should be posting and like capitalizing on this, because you can, number one, you get the attention on it, you can make some money off of it, you can bring the sport to a different level. I think that
I'm going to go next if you don't mind, because
then they can sponsor us.
Yes.
And then you can come
also
hang out with us on the podcast.
Still available. My biggest loser of the year is men's coaches being poached.
To the women's
side, yes.
To the women's.
The women's have mo money than the men.
Problems,
so that
too,
is
probably.
Definitely have mo problems also, but there is more money. And so the top talent I see with everything that's changing with 18 roster spots, NIL, and just the arms race of what's happening, I love men's volleyball, but I feel like men's volleyball is in a tough position for that. And so the top talent for men's programs or up-and-coming men's staff will probably look to the women's game to find a more secure, more supported role or position. That's what I fear. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I believe is going to be the biggest loser this year. We're going to see.
Are you telling us you're taking a women's college coaching job?
No, I'm quite happy with my low-paying podcast on a couch job. So I'm going to stay right here.
No.
Me neither.
We don't like having bosses, so
that's different. Yeah.
So we're out on that.
I think we're a level ahead of where everybody else is on that run.
We'll call it that.
Yeah, look at Jackson. I want Jackson's life. I don't want that stress.
Yeah.
I don't want that stress. But yeah, that's what I think. Biggest loser. I think we're going to see some men's coaches jump ship, head to the women's game, and there's going to be some up and coming holes to be filled for sure.
I think that's super fair, because I mean, if you look at what maybe like top assistants or even like medium assistants are making on the men's side, I know our favorite game is like Google public employees salary sometimes.
Yeah, it's our favorite game at a bar.
If you don't play that game, you should check it out.
It's a great game.
It's a really fun game.
Google
It's actually very easy.
Everybody's salary.
If they're
University of California employees.
If they're a state university, you can see it within like 30 seconds, and it's kind of sad.
It's tough, right? So even if you're, I don't know what Hawks' assistants are making. Maybe it's like $100K or something like that, right? As a top assistant at a top program, super cool. But if you are, I don't know what Jalen's making in Nebraska or like what Erik was making at Tech, but like you're making probably north of 200 would be my guess.
Yes.
Correct.
At all these programs, right?
At the
And
top women's program, yes.
yeah, and so it's like it's not even comparable, right? I could take a really good job over here and make double the money. And again, you just
With
extrapolate
bonuses and camps and all of those things too that men's is not
This-
getting.
the
And then just
75
add in the
kids that go to
support,
camp,
too,
yeah.
right? You add in the
Close,
support that those
yeah.
programs get in comparison, and it's a big difference.
Yeah, so for anyone who's like, oh, why are the men's coaches going to the women's game? It's money.
Yeah.
So it's money every time.
But if everybody puts themselves out there on social media, we could change the whole entire thing.
I have like 1,000 followers. I'm massive.
Everyone follow Volley Dork. Chad,
what was
biggest loser?
Oh, biggest loser. I don't know that it's like a huge. It's not like a huge loser. But one thing I don't like coming out of COVID is all these back-to-backs with the same team. It's just bugging me. And I understand it when it's teams like Hawaii or BYU
Sure.
Or
something
Stanford when there was no travel partner.
Like, sure, I'll give you that.
Bring
So-
back Pacific.
Bring back Pacific
Are you
Matt,
listening
to head coach.
university presidents?
Pacific. No,
Yep,
they aren't.
that's our biggest demographic of people that follow this podcast.
But it's just like, oh man, like you play a Thursday at Long Beach and then you play the Friday at UC San Diego or whatever, and it's just like, oh, like if you have a kid that's injured at any point and you happen to back up with a team that you maybe should beat or whatever it is, and you're gonna maybe drop 2 instead of dropping 1 and then getting them back for the next. I don't know. I was looking at schedules recently. And I was just like, I don't really like that.
So give me just so I can clarify. What's your preference? What would you like that
Travel
schedule to be?
partners.
Yeah, just imagine like how it is
Okay.
on the women's side, right? It was like, hey, look, like whatever, we're gonna go to Michigan, in October, and then they're gonna come to us in November.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Gotcha.
Done.
So you
Right.
want home and away. You don't
Yeah,
want.
but like, so you still get the home and the away with the men's. I mean, except for like UH or something
Yeah.
like that. But it's just like, okay, like when UCLA is gonna play, whatever, San Diego, right?
Mhm.
They're gonna play in Pauley on Friday, and then they're gonna go down to San Diego on
Gotcha.
Saturday. It's like,
Right. You just want to see a couple, a month between those matches so that there's
yeah, right. So you can, I have more than 8 hours to
Yeah.
make an adjustment, or again, if you're unlucky with injuries or whatever.
He's like, I'm out.
Jackson's out.
All right, obviously not a big enough loser.
Yeah, he's like, that was
It was a
bullshit.
Way to,
Bad answer, Chad.
way to vote
I'm
with your
going,
Hey,
feet,
Bobby.
Jackson.
I'm going over here to Bobby.
Yeah, there's more pets with Bobby. That's fine, but
That's fair. Okay, I can see where you come from on that.
it's not the worst loser, but it's
Yeah,
but
It's a
it's been
medium
irking me a little
loser.
bit.
It's a medium loser.
it is certainly an annoyance. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
All right, let's go to positivity. Biggest winner of the year. You kind of queued yourself up, so
Superstars.
let's take it away.
Superstars are the biggest winner of the year. Put yourself out there, you're going to get the benefits of putting yourself out there. Probably get some negatives too, but who's talking? It's fun.
Give me your superstars. Who do you think who's obviously besides
Everyone
Moni?
that we have talked about. Those are my superstars. And honestly, Keone.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, anyone who can like sing and dance. I don't know. I
Neil
think that-
Finnegan,
yeah,
obviously.
like the people with
Neil-
personality.
Neil, you better start busting out some Irish jigs on that CSUN sideline. All right.
Yeah, anybody with some personality, anybody that I think makes this sport look more fun.
Yeah, there's definitely an argument for that as you look at. I mean, that's one of the cool factors of where we're at, social media wise. When someone does something cool, or when someone is a personality, and will put themselves out there. Keone's a great example.
Yep.
Keone is a fantastic player.
Mm-hmm.
Is he a VNL level volleyball player? No, but he is a extremely good player. He puts himself out there. He's got a personality.
He's
that
entertaining to watch.
People, it's love me or hate me. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
And now he's at a place too where he gets to shine a little bit more because he's going to be on the court a ton for BYU, and BYU has a fantastic social media team around them.
Yep.
So they're making videos for him, they're helping him out, and they are, they're going to help him really raise his brand value, and that's what I think a lot of kids will start to look for is what that opportunity looks like for them as they're making a college decision or they're making decisions about where they go to, whether it's college or club volleyball.
Yep.
Same idea, same concept.
Yeah, for me, it's just a call to coaches to support your kids in creating and putting themselves out there because it's effing good for the sport. So,
Chad, you want to take a stab for your biggest winner?
I thought I had something, and now I can't remember it at all.
Jackson's like, damn it.
Everybody loses.
Chad?
Yeah, I know. And he votes with his feet again.
It's like,
All
I'm
right,
leaving
later,
again.
Later, dog. No, I mean, I think kind of to piggyback on that a little bit, right? There's definitely the possibility for men's volleyball to really benefit from huge viewership, just massive turnout from the women's side this fall, in association with Love, PVF, Athletes on like everybody else that's going on. Hopefully, there's a lot of eyeballs on volleyball this spring, just in the ecosystem, and hopefully we can benefit from that as the men's side of the sport. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold on that. I don't know if that could also be a detractor. You know, if you're that kid in Nebraska who like, oh yeah, I love Lexi Rodriguez. I don't really care about men's volleyball. Like, sorry, Loyola Lewis and MIVA teams. I don't know how that's gonna play. But I think obviously there's, you know, you talk to anybody in Kentucky while we were there, right? Like there's a palpable sense of momentum. So hopefully the men's side can jump aboard.
Matt?
Well, I mean, guys, it's obvious.
Boo this man.
The biggest winner of the year is obviously John Hawks, inheriting just an absolute juggernaut of a team. He's got every piece he possibly needs, and he's stepping right into it. And now he lives in California. Sorry, Chicago. California's just going to be a little bit better for the family there.
Yeah, Hawks with the win.
That's a huge win for Hawks. So shout out to you, Hawks.
Biggest
Yet
winner of
again.
the year.
Don't blow it.
He would never.
That's so mean. Like, who does that?
Hawks, we love you. You got tough skin. I know it. You're fine. But like,
Stop.
You got a really good group.
He doesn't watch this.
He also, well, to be fair to Hawks in this, to be fair, he did help recruit all of these kids.
100%.
So it's not like he's coming in and being, you know, he went to Long Beach and inherited all these kids.
I would like
he
a
worked
Hawks
hard to recruit
rebuttal
these.
to our going after him.
Yeah, going after? I'm not going after Hawks.
I think he only does Rob's podcast.
Yeah, he's got
We gotta get on that.
he's got an exclusivity agreement.
Yeah,
And he's not
yeah.
allowed to breach that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Any
Okay.
other closing thoughts?
What about Grittiest team?
Oh, Grittiest team. Well, I mean, you want me to start?
See, son?
I mean, it's obviously CSUN. it's them.
It's just Jalen.
They
on the
might as
right,
well
just-
change their mascot
We talked
from
about
Matadors.
We talked about Grand Canyon last year being the Grittiest team.
Yeah, but Nick Slide's gone.
Yeah,
so-
they
Yeah,
graduated
he's
everyone.
gone.
yeah. Well, yeah, Hickman and Slide are gone. So
Sorry.
that's a big,
Grit's gone.
I'm selling that off. I sell that
Yeah.
stock quickly on the grid. It's not that they're not going to have some of it.
They got that kid that we like from the bench now.
Oh,
that's
Jackson
playing.
Herr. Yeah, Jackson
Yeah,
Herr.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got a little bit in him,
Yeah.
but he don't got that Jackson Hickman in him.
No, but they're like, but that kid was
Yeah,
chirping.
Yeah, he's going to be running the show.
Maybe there's a new like freshman that can take his place on
Yeah.
backing him up, and they could have a
replace
whole,
the archetype.
Yeah, they could
it's
have
still
a theme.
CSUN.
Yeah, I
CSUN.
know it's
CSUN.
CSUN.
Jalen Phillips, Donovan Constable,
Yeah,
Neil
and
Finnegan.
some random guys from Europe. I
Yeah.
mean, always, right?
Yeah.
Like always some random guys. Like you've just never heard of them, and they'll go off and hit 40 kills on you.
Yeah, they're going to be good.
Donovan is the Nick Slight of 2025 for
Yeah.
NCAA men's
I
volleyball.
can agree with that. He's got he can fling the rock around. He knows how to get his hitters in the best options, and he is not going to back down.
And he's a gamer. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll game. Long Beach lost some grit too because they lost 35 guys on the sideline. So they were just getting strength in numbers on the grit.
I just think that Long Beach talks about grit a lot. They're
Hashtag, yeah.
pretty grit. They like there's a grit in there, but like you can't talk about it if you're gonna be
that's just
gritty.
that's just kind of like a Long Beach ethos in general, though. Like Long Beach, in terms of Southern California, is just like a grittier place. Like
That's
you got
true.
the
That's true. They are.
got the
grittier.
oil rigs
Yeah,
and-
yeah, yeah.
They
They have oil there.
It's not
The dirt bags.
Yeah. It's not your Manhattan Beach, hoity-toity. It's like, welcome to Long Beach, mofo. Give me your lunch money.
Not involved with branding of Southern California, man.
The Long Beach, give me your
Hoity-toity.
The Long Beach, give me your lunch monies. That's a good nickname. Dustin Wan, do you approve of this nickname?
That's funny.
Honestly, probably.
I wonder how many times Dustin got his lunch money taken in Long Beach as a kid.
Have you ever gotten your lunch money taken?
No. unless it was by my dad.
No, private school.
Yeah, private school.
There
Private
was
Catholic
no-
school.
No.
Any other podcast news?
No.
Okay.